I'm Leah. This is the Playful Enchantress, and I'm feeling very inside and quiet and not like talking. I'm very active this week, except for yesterday. Yesterday I slept. I crashed hard, but I'm like very active, very spring cleaning vibes for me, and I've like been putting this off all day. But that's not fair to you, and that's not fair to me. So here we are, and I was like, just need to film it. It's probably gonna be like the longest video ever, knowing me, once I get going, you know? So we are doing our weekly collective reading for community, home, and self-care. I will do 3 cards like usual. The first one will be for our communities or engaging with politics or something, the broader circle, the biggest circle you want it to be. The next one is our families and our homes, our direct inside circle. If you want to include your besties, you know, like your really tight-knit neighborhood, that's fine. That's up to you. I'm really more thinking home. And then the last one's for self-care. So we are going to get the big circle first. I hope everyone is doing well. It is, sorry, I didn't even say what this was for. This is for April 4th, which is today. Okay, oh, it's telling me it's all the way across. So we've got community. Oh yeah, you guys, it's Gawain again, so no one's surprised. And the same, okay, Terra Incognita. Oh, and a different self. Okay, so we have the same. Gawain has been in our inner circle, our self-care, for 2 weeks. It has moved to the outer circle. So we were starting on an inner circle journey for our self-care, and it was like, bring this out, step it out, step it out, step it out for yourself. And now it's out in the outer circle. So what is this telling me? You spent 3 weeks getting something going, and now I'm seeing that exact same card move to community. So bring it out of your home into your community. It's so pat. It's so like, but truly, we had that card 3 weeks ago. Then we had another card that was like, take the next step. Then we had this card again last week. And now this exact card has moved from the inner self-care to the outer circle, community care. So take whatever it is that you have been creating in your inner self, in your inner world, the thing you've been stepping toward, and bring it out of the circle. You don't have to like publish it, but bring it out to your community. Talk to a acquaintance about it. Talk to somebody in your community that has to do with the thing that you started. So were you thinking about going back to school? Talk to somebody in the school. Were you starting to think about or move toward a personal project? Eventually, other people are going to find out about it. So talk to somebody trusted in your community about it. This is about taking that steps that we were taking internally and for ourselves and bringing them to the community and doing those things that are going to connect our inner world to our community. Same card in the family. We've got Terra Incognita, the deep earth, the mysteries. It's a death card. Death as in flipping something over, like from an old way to a new way, letting old patterns go and starting new patterns. This is like springtime, prime rebirth. We had that full moon this week. I don't know about you, but that wiped me out. That was a huge reset. And that's what's showing up here in our homes. And for me in my house, it's like a go time for getting rid of things. We have been trying to go through a lot of stuff that came into our homes. We inherited a lot of things. And it's like we're go time with wanting to use these spaces again that have been taken up by the stuff. And, you know, also just generally the way that grief goes and time goes, it's been about a year since most of these things came into our house. So it's like, okay, now let's turn the page on those things. So this could be the same as last week. You could still be making that transition, or it could be different. So for us, this last week was very much moving things, heavy things, and emotional things. We actually, now that I think about it, had our family over for dinner for the first time in a very long time. In fact, the first time since there were some big major family losses, some major horrific, like our family members passing away. And this was the first time we've like really had a dinner since then. And that seems significant with this card, like grieving, turning the page and moving on to whatever is next. Not to say we're ever going to stop grieving, right? Grief is a permanent state of life. It's a cyclical spiralation. And for some of us, it's a constant companion, right? I'm not saying we're moving on and like put this behind us, but like what's next in the journey of life that includes death and loss. So it's interesting that this is here again, because I think for us in our family last week, it was very much about shedding belongings, but also recreating or creating new connections with people that we had somewhat lost touch with. So that's there. And then for ourselves, we have Deja, Queen of Hearts, so much love. Very much feeling the Libra energy from the full moon, like love, calm. She's got her eyes closed, which is interesting because her daughter in this deck has her eyes blindfolded. But here her eyes are closed and she's looking inward, but she's facing us. So she's taking all of her inward knowledge and she's sitting very comfortably between the worlds, between her inner world and her outer world. So with this card being in our self-care, it's showing me to turn some of that sweetness that we have for other people onto ourselves. Give yourself a little romance, take care of yourself as though you were taking care of a loved one. Give yourself that rose. She's holding this rose. And it's like, give the rose to yourself. And actually, what's funny is I just grabbed one flower from a bouquet that I had put together a few weeks ago, and everything else is dead except this one red flower. And it reminds me of this because I just brought one red flower up here. So she's got this rose. She's resting, but she's regal. She's very fancy. And she's saying, I'm going to take a minute for myself here. I've got this. She's very composed. She's very sure of herself. And she's calm. Sometimes we feel like to be self-confident or to work out in the world, we need to put on like a really brave face or put on an armor or exude confidence like nobody can mess with us, right? We need to be aggressive. She's none of these things. And yet she's dressed for the ball. She's clearly wearing like a crown for presentation. Oh, this is very, very old. But she's not worried about it. She's sitting by the ocean. You can see the waves in the background. She's just calm. She just has her eyes closed. Maybe she's resting a second. Maybe she's listening to someone and just like letting their words sink into her heart. But what she's showing me is us in our own self-care, our own personal care, showing up with the vulnerability, showing up without putting on a mask, without putting on airs, right? Just showing up authentically. I'm here to do this thing, or I'm here to just give you a hug, but bringing all of that vulnerability with you into that world outside and into your inside world. So both taking care of yourself as though you're taking care of somebody you love, right? Sometimes we get a little confused about self-care and treat it like it's some sort of commodified thing. It's not, you know. If you have a kid and your kid is sick, you lay them down, you give them soup, you give them tea, you tell them to rest. When you're sick, what do? Do you lay down and give yourself soup and tea and tell yourself to rest, or do you go, I need to push through this, I have so much to do? Treating yourself like you would treat a loved one is one of the sweetest little hacks to taking care of yourself that I know of. So here she is, Deja, for ourselves. Once again, families and home, we have Terra Incognita, and then Gawain out into the world with those things we started a few weeks ago. And as you're going out into the world, you might feel like you need to show up a certain way, and she's showing you that you don't. You just show up as yourself. And that might be uncomfortable, might feel a little bit like an ego death, but you can do it. And I believe in you. And I hope that you have a great weekend. And if you started a project last week with this Terra Incognita death card and this like strong earth energy, I hope that you continue as well. Like me, with my absolute unexpected attic reorganization. I hope that you move forward in that and enjoy the process, even though it can be really hard. So, lots of love to you. I encourage you to go to my website and grab that Jeffrey Epstein culture ritual. Like if you grew up going to Limited 2 and smelling the things at Bath and Body Works and wanting Victoria's Secret, and now you're like, hey, how did you co-opt my childhood? I don't like this. There is a ritual for you there. And just in general, it's a great 20-minute meditation. It's a wonderful introduction to my private work, and I highly recommend going and grabbing it. It is free. Just download it, share it with your friends. It's absolutely not in any way connected to, I'm not even asking for your email address. Just, I want you to have it. I want everybody to have it. So go grab it. Have a great week, and I will see you next week when it'll be the second week in April, which feels like something. This year is intense, and if you follow astrology, and you know this year was going to be intense, right? And with all of the horrible things happening out in the world, it's like there's a bit of me that feels like when I was, working on my dissertation or something, when it's like the only way out of this is through it. And that's how it feels like every week. It's like, okay, we got another weekend, and what's next? Let's hold on another week. And like, so for me, it's like, okay, we got through April. We're in April. We got through March. We're in April. Good? Great? And I guess that's a little bit of that, a little bit of that, like, I can look forward and be hopeful and also really sad, and all at the same time. All of it at once. No. Mwah. Have a great day.